Hello and welcome or welcome back. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I am doing okay. I apologize if the camera is a little shaky. It's because I don't have anything to really set this up against right now. So please forgive me for that. But I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about the books that I've been reading and, my day today and just kind of like chit chat for a bit. Excuse me, I might be burping, so I apologize. I just had some crackers and yeah, so I apologize, but oh my gosh, today was a really good day and I'm very thankful for today. I went to church today, and then we went out to breakfast. My cousin went to church with me, and we went and saw Spider-Man. I don't even know which one this is, but the most recent one was Zendaya and Tom Holland. And I don't know her name, but she's from Stranger Things. Did not know that she was in this movie. I'm really ignorant to the Marvel movies. Like, I had no clue that guy. I just know this guy from the show Him and Hers. I think it's on Netflix. I think that's what it's called. And I know him from The Walking Dead. But he's the Punisher? Question mark? I honestly should have looked that up before. And then I had to Google it in the theater. I was like, wait, is the Punisher Marvel? And it is. That's what I saw. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm really ignorant to this stuff. So I go into all these movies, like whenever my dad wants to go see a movie from Marvel or DC, or like anybody else, like any of my friends or anything like that, quite literally I just go into it blind. And I can honestly say that was actually one of probably the best movie that I've seen in 2026. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to look at things from like a psychological aspect and like through the lens of like psychology. Well, yeah, and then like a Christian lens, and then like a trauma based, like I guess it would be like psychology as well. And I really enjoyed it. I was gonna say I didn't fall asleep, but I did nod off like a second, literally a second, which is really good because I'm a person that I find it very hard to stay asleep. I mean, to stay awake during movies. I'm not a big movie watcher, but I do like watching movies in the movie theater. And I was like, this was so good. I saw the last one with Tom like a couple years ago, and I honestly couldn't tell you what that was about. I couldn't even tell you if I even enjoyed it or not. But this one I really enjoyed. My cousin, literally, it was his idea to go see this movie, and my cousin literally slept the whole time. I looked over because I was like, I was seeing him in my peripheral, and I just was like watching the movie, and he was like just really quiet. And this is my first time going to the movies with him. Like I see him and I hang out with him, whatever. But like we never gone to the movies, so I didn't really know if he was a commenter during the movies or if he just like kept really quiet. So I was just like chilling, watching the movie. But in my peripheral, I was like, I kind of feel as if he's sleeping. And then I look over, like, I don't know, however many minutes into the movie. I'm like, this dude is sleeping. He's sleeping, and then slept through the whole movie, and then woke up like in very tiny parts, like very like little increments. I was like, okay. But honestly, I was fine with it because I totally enjoyed it. So I do recommend going to see it. Yeah. Honestly, that movie made me want to watch them in order because I feel like they were making references to the past and I did not know. I think I saw the last one, I think that, I don't know. I really don't know. I saw one of them before in the theater, but I didn't see, like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not a movie that you have to see all of them to really get, like, it. To me, I didn't really, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so lost. But I think there were, oh, there's a, wait, what the heck is that? A deer? It's a deer. So yeah, anyways, so that was great. I enjoyed that a lot, and I'm very thankful that I was able to just kind of get together with my cousin. He came down for the weekend, and I asked him if he would stay over because I was supposed to go to a barbecue. My family was having a barbecue yesterday, but I had to work, and I didn't want to ask to leave early because I've been leaving early from work because I have appointments to go to. So I've been leaving work early, and I didn't want to ask again to leave work early. So and I was like, by the time I get to the barbecue, it's going to be over. People are going to be gone. So yeah, but I asked if he would stay another night, and he did. And then, yeah, we just went to church, went to breakfast. We went to the movies, and it was a good time. So I'm very thankful to just be able to spend time. And I'm going to talk about my books now. So right now I have The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff, and I'm a little bit nervous to start reading it. I haven't started it. I just borrowed it from the library. It just became available like 2 days ago. And I'm a little nervous because I read her other book, The Burning Side, and if I'm being quite honest, oh, I thought it was a coyote. I was like, oh, but it's not a coyote. It's a deer. If I'm being honest, I didn't like it. I liked it enough to finish it, but I didn't like it enough to be like, wow, this was such a good book. You know, it just, I don't know. I really just wasn't attached to the characters. I didn't feel like I really cared about the characters. I feel like sometimes in books, like when I really enjoy a book, I like care about them. And I'm like, oh, I wonder, like I did have the thought of like, oh man, I wonder what's gonna happen. And I wanted to finish the book to figure out, to see what was gonna happen, but I just wasn't really involved with the characters as I would have liked to have been. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like the writing, or I just don't know what it was, but I just wasn't in love. So I would probably give it like a 3 stars. I would never read it again. And I just found myself being like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till these chapters are over, which is like not a really good thing. But when it comes to reading a book. But oh, I have a little visitor. I have 2. I don't even know what kind of bird these are. I was gonna say gray catbird, but they're not gray catbirds. Anybody else think that birds are like watching you? They have like cameras in their eyes? No, just me. Okay, fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, I'm fine. Anyways, so yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I'm gonna go through like some of the books I've been reading. I just finished yesterday. Last night I read for, hold on, how many hours is that? 4 hours. 4 hours last night, and only took like a 20-minute break. I had to finish the book. It's called The Names, and it's by Florence Knapp. I really liked that book. I really enjoyed it. And even though the chapters were really long, I really was engaged in the book, and like engaged in the book. I don't know, I was really like intrigued by the book. It was a really interesting concept to me, and I really like felt connected to the characters, not to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, connected, but just like I felt for the characters, you know, and it felt very real and raw. The writing just felt, I like the writings. I like to write her writing style. So I finished that last night. I had to finish it because it was, I hate when it does this. Okay. I had to finish it because it was due today at 9 o'clock in the morning, but I had church this morning. I knew I wasn't going to wake up earlier than I had to because I've been pretty tired recently. So I'm like, I know I'm not going to wake up earlier than I have to just to read the book, like to read a chapter in the book. And then if I were to read this morning, I wouldn't have comprehended anything because I was really tired. So yeah, I had to finish it because it was due today. So I'm gonna just kind of go down some of the books I've been reading. I read The Yellow Wallpaper by, yikes, I literally can't, Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I really liked that book. I really, okay, I don't want to say I really liked it, but I did like it. It's a really short book, so if you're looking for a book that, like, to me it was an easy read, and it was just like an easy thing to like check off for me, because like last month I was able to read, I think, 6 books in a month, and that was one of the books, and that was like really easy to just be like, okay, that was my 6th book, you know what I mean? Or like, I think that was my 6th book. Yeah, I didn't finish the other one until August, so just like an easy read to, you know, to add to my list. But I really enjoyed that book. It's about a woman. I don't know if it's about like postpartum depression, or if it's just about like just a nervous condition, not a nervous condition, like a it is something with mental health. I just don't know exactly what they diagnosed her with, but I think her husband is a doctor or of some sort of thing, and her husband diagnoses her with like nervousness. And you know, you can tell that he, at least I perceived that he did love her. But I think that back then, because I forget when it was based in, but it was like based like years and years and years ago, you know, there wasn't much research on like mental health, and I just think he was ignorant, not because he's just ignorant person, but just because just the knowledge and the research just like wasn't there. But I do believe that he cared for his wife, but I don't think he actually like really listened to her, and clearly didn't understand what was going on with her mentally. And she becomes obsessed with this like yellow wallpaper, and at the end, I don't want to like, okay, well, we won't give too much away, but like, it's just basically like a mental decline. You're reading about her, like just a mental decline for her, and her obsession with this wallpaper. It's really good, really easy read. I read it literally in an hour, and I was done the book. Like, it might have been less than an hour. I didn't time myself, because the thing said 0 to 1 hour. So 0 minutes to an hour. So it could be an hour or less than an hour. I think I read it in less than an hour. So just like an easy read to just like have and do. I've read The Burning Side, like I said. Didn't really like that book. I'll kind of give like what it's about. It's about a family and their house. There's a house fire, and they're all going through, I don't know what, I'm gonna be really vague. They're all going through their own individual things. Honestly, the whole key point is communication. They all lacked communication. Like, they all just didn't want to talk about, really get into the heavy conversations, and I get it. Like, that's really difficult and it is really hard. But at the same time, I don't know, whatever. I think there was just a really big lack of communication, like, throughout the whole book. And I grew very frustrated because every single time that Leo and April, which are two of the main characters, there are more characters, whenever they would come together and like try and talk, it was annoying because they would start and then they would just like stop out of anger, and it was just like, oh my gosh. I think to me, and I get it, it's like, it's a book, right? And you need to keep the storyline going. But I think I was just becoming really frustrated because I'm like, this book could have been a lot shorter. And also it was frustrating because I'm like, just freaking have the conversation. Just talk. Why are you acting like two children who can't have a conversation? Just sit down and freaking talk to each other. It was just really annoying and really frustrating because, like I said, they would just like start and then it would be like, oh, I'm not having this conversation right now. I hate that. I hate people. Like, stop. Sorry, that's how I imagined it. Just stop. Just lower it down. And I'm totally fine with people like, I need to take a second. I'm heated. I need a second to process my emotions, and we'll come back and revisit this. I'm totally fine with that. But when it's like, stop. Like, I can't. I'm not talking to this. I'm not. Like, no. I hate that. And then you just don't talk about it. Stop. I don't like that. I hate it. And don't, no. So it was I just spit. It was frustrating to me. So that I found annoying. I found no connection to Deb and her storyline. I dreaded reading Deb's part. I know I'm like going in on this book. I don't mean to. I just really dreaded reading Deb's part. I just like found no connection to her. And I don't know if that, maybe it's a me problem. Maybe it's a me problem. I will take accountability or whatever. I'll say that. But I just found no connection to Deb. I felt like Leo was like, I don't know, I don't know. I just did not feel connected to any of the characters. But I would not tell anybody to not read the book. I wouldn't tell anybody to not read any book, pretty much, unless it like promotes something awful and terrible and something that I think is morally wrong. But you know, everybody's different because that book has, I think, 4.2 stars on Goodreads, so people clearly like that book. I just was one of the people that did not like the book. One of the people that I watch on YouTube, her name is Vivian, I don't know how to say her last name, but Libianto. She was the one that was talking about the book. That's how I knew of the book. So I started reading it. She really liked that book. And I normally like the books that she recommends, the ones that I read. I'm like, oh, this is good. This one's good. And I'll read it. And I'm like, oh, this was really freaking good. But that one just was a miss for me. So I'm a little bit nervous to read The Bright Years because of that reason. Yeah, I'm just nervous. I'm like, what if I don't like it? But I'm just going to face it because I only have, I think, like 11 days left to read it. So I need to get on the ball with that. What else have I been reading? The Screw Tape Letters, which is more of it's a Christian book. And so if you're not Christian, you're probably not going to understand or really get this, and you probably wouldn't like the book. But it's like letters. It's like a demon writing to, it's like a more experienced demon writing to a inexperienced demon or less experienced demon letters of how to influence the person that he's assigned to, which they call him the patient. And to me, how I understood it and how I got it and how it made sense to me and how I was explaining it to myself and other people is, if you read in the Bible how Paul writes letters to like the Romans and the Corinthians and the Ephesians, the people of Ephesus, you know, and he like encourages them like, hey, build each other up, let's have unity within the church, stop quarreling against each other. Or he like sends warnings like, I'm hearing of this in the church, like I warn you to not do this and warn you to not do that, or correcting them, right? And he's like basically instructing them to do different things, or encouraging them to keep doing different things, or encouraging them to add things into their routine. And this is how it's like flip-flopped, where it's like, instead of Paul, it's this more experienced demon. And because as a Christian, we believe, even though it's a difficult thing to really fully grasp, but we believe that we do not fight against flesh and blood, which is like, we don't fight against flesh as in like the things that we can see, our human people. We are against like the things that are not seen, the principalities of like the spiritual world. And what's it called? So it's not necessarily like I'm fighting with you, like I'm fighting something that is influencing you, but it's really hard to separate the two because we're human beings, and I'm talking to a human being. A human being is doing this to me, a human being is saying this to me, a human being is, so then we like end up hating the human, you know what I mean? Or disliking the human, or talking bad about the human, or doing this, or saying this, or doing something that we're not supposed to be doing or saying, or blah, blah, blah. So it's just like a really interesting concept. I don't know if I explained it properly, but you can look further into it. It's called The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. Books that I want to start reading, like The Bright Years, but I'm kind of like, there are other books I really want to read. I've been wanting to read East of Eden, but although it's a really like intimidating book to me, I think because it's a long book. I've been trying to finish Demon Copperhead, and I started listening to it on audiobook at work, but I'm such a person that I have a hard time hearing all the time when I'm out, and like, I'm yawning. Okay. Sorry, I had to do a big yawn because those little yawns were not going to satisfy my whatever that is that causes you to yawn. So I've been in and out of it because I will have people like coming up to me asking me questions, so then I can't fully engage in the book that I'm listening to when people are asking me questions, because I'm having to have a conversation and I'm having to be aware of what's going on. So yeah, but I've had to take a break from Demon Copperhead. I'm at like chapter 20 something. I'm 33% read of the book. So, and I want to read The Count of Monte Cristo, I think that's what it is. And also I've been wanting to maybe get into Dune. I saw the commercial for it when we were, or the preview for it when we were in the movie theater today, and my cousin said that Dune is crazy, or Dune's going to be crazy, or something like that. And I've actually heard people reading about it. I've heard of the book before, but I never really like took interest to it until I saw the preview. And I was like, oh shoot, should I read the book? But I'm not a fantasy, like, okay, I don't want to say I'm not a fantasy girly, I just have never read fantasy, and I've never really found myself never thought of myself as liking fantasy. So I just don't know how I would, I don't know. So I have no clue. But it's something that I'm kind of intrigued by and interested in. So I might try and read Dune. But we'll have to see. Honestly, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I feel like I'm like kind of maybe getting back on like a reading kick. I don't know. I kind of felt like I was in a slump. But I think also because it was the books that I was reading too. Because I didn't really like the books. The book that I was reading. So I felt like less motivated. So maybe that was it. But yeah, so anyways, that's basically it. And I'll kind of update as time goes, as time goes on, like what I'm reading, and we'll go from there. But anyways, all in all, today was a pretty good day. I'm really thankful. The day's not even over. It's 4:12. I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but it's fine. I'm gonna sit down and like relax for a second and just like sit down, because yeah, just sit down. Although I've been sitting down at the movie theaters, it's not, that wasn't like restful for me. So I'm gonna rest for a second, and then I might read a little bit and just kind of like enjoy the rest of my evening and go from there. But okay, until next time, I'll see you guys. Adios.